Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at a brand new 2023 release from pianist and composer Hiromi, and this is her newest recording for Telarc Records, Sonic Wonderland. So Sonic Wonderland marks the first time in many years that Hiromi has returned to a group format after many years of recording duo projects, string projects, and of course the trio project with Anthony Jackson and Simon Phillips. We see Hiromi form a brand new band called Sonicwonder, which is a little nod to her old band called Sonicbloom. And we've got an amazing collection of talents in this band. We've got bassist Hadrien Feraud, and anyone who knows Hadrien Feraud, if you've got him playing on your album, you know it's going to be good. We've got Gene Coye on drums and Hadrien Feraud on trumpet, and of course Hiromi on piano and keyboards. So we're seeing Hiromi kind of going back more to her fusion and electronic roots, because Hiromi, for most of the past decade, she's been more doing acoustic stuff. So it's a nice treat to hear Hiromi back at the keyboards and just going absolutely nuts with some crazy music that she's known for. So Sonic Wonderland sees Hiromi and her new band really push the boundaries of jazz, fusion, classical, and pop, and a bit of electronica as well. And she combines all of these genres and all of these influences into one unique package to really come up with her own unique sound and voice for this band. But it's still very much Hiromi. And when you hear her, you know straight away who it is, because she has a very distinct and recognizable sound on both piano and keyboards, which at times sounds like the legendary Chick Corea, and at times sounds like the legendary Keith Emerson. So you can hear lots of jazz influences, lots of prog influences there as well. There's a bit of avant-garde here. It's all there. It's all Hiromi. Hiromi's the ultimate daredevil. She's incredibly fearless, never afraid of trying different things and trying out new things. She's the ultimate risk taker, and she's such a chameleon. She can adapt to any situation. Now, this album, I've listened to this a number of times, and it's a slow burner. It's one of those albums, it's going to take a while for it to grow on you. But when you hear it all the way through, there's some really good stuff here. There's a couple of tracks on here which I am going to be talking about. They are a little bit, okay, eyebrow raising. One track in particular, everyone knows what track I'm talking about. It's a little bit on the wacky side. As I said, it's very, very out there, but there's some outstanding playing from everyone, including Hiromi herself. Rock solid bass work from Hadrien Feraud. Hadrien Feraud, he provides lots of different soundscapes and atmospheric sounds and effects from his trumpets, which kind of reminds me of Vietnamese trumpeter Kung Vu's work with the Pat Metheny group. And Gene Coye, he's a very good and rock solid drummer, and he brings a lot of muscle to the music. And Hiromi, she's just a ball of energy. She really knows how to pack a punch in her playing. And I often compare her piano playing to a roller coaster ride. When she starts playing, it's really a hell of a trip, and she really takes you on an amazing ride, and you don't really know where you're going to end up and whether or not this ride is going to stop. So it's very, very enjoyable rush, to say the very least. So I'm dedicating this edition to George Lamy, who I know is a big fan of Hiromi. So special shout out to him. So, with that all said, let's have a look, shall we? Now, there's not really a lot to see here. So, there is production notes and who is featured and plays what. But other than that, there's not really a lot to look at, really. So, as I said already, Sonicwonder features Hiromi on piano and keyboards, Hadrien Feraud on bass, Gene Coye on drums, and Hadrien Feraud on trumpet. And we've also got a vocal track featuring singer Oli Rockenberger. Yeah, more on that in a moment. So, all of the compositions are written and composed by Hiromi. So, we've got Wanted, it's a great opener. The title track, Sonic Wonderland. When I first heard this track, it sounded like something out of a Super Mario Brothers video game. My initial thoughts was, oh no, what's this? This isn't Hiromi. You know, there's lots of cheesy synths, but halfway through into the track, it transforms itself and it actually becomes very good. But for the first half, it's a bit like, I don't know really. Then we got Polaris, which is another great track. Go Go, very enjoyable. Up, Reminiscence featuring Oli Rockenberger. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is probably the only track I could have done without. You know, this is a good solid album. We don't really need a vocal track. And if you are going to get a singer, find someone a bit decent. Didn't really care for Ollie's vocals. I feel like it kind of spoiled it a little bit. You know, I don't mind vocal tracks if you've got a good singer, but yeah, I could have done without this. So this is probably the only clunker in the entire album. I often thought that maybe Sonicwonderland was probably the worst track, but it actually isn't. I think this track with Oli Rockenberger wasn't that good. Then we got Trial and Error, which is another great track. Then we got Utopia, which is quite enjoyable. And then we got a track called Bonus Stage, which at times does sound like a boss level for the end of the video game. You know, when fighting the last character before completing the whole thing. It kind of does sound like that a little bit. But overall, a good solid album. Very enjoyable. Great to see Hiromi back in the band format after many years of solo piano recordings and duo projects. So it's a nice welcome treat. The vocal track I could have lived without, but it's only one track, so I kind of let that slide, but I kind of just skipped that track. So standout tracks for me are Wanted. Sonicwonderland is not so bad. I can forgive it. Polaris, Go Go, Trial and Error, and Bonus Track. But a good, enjoyable album. Vocal track I can live without. As I said, I often skip that one. But very enjoyable nonetheless. And, you know, it's great to see Hiromi back in the band. And hopefully she keeps these guys together and make another one. And got to see this band a couple of weeks ago at the London EFG Jazz Festival. Very special show. First half was Hiromi and the string orchestra, and then the second half of the show was with Sonicwonderland. One of the best shows I think I have ever seen. So different, and really and truly, if they wanted to, they could have just made it 2 nights with both of those formats. But we got basically 2 gigs in one, and it was a really good show. And as great as everyone sounded on Sonicwonderland and everyone in Hiromi's Sonic Wonder Band, and they all sounded amazing. Hiromi's Sonic Wonder Band, for me, you know, Hiromi was on top form, but I would say the standout musician of this band was definitely Hadrien Feraud. Lots of great bass playing, and as I said at the beginning, if you've got Hadrien Feraud in your band, you know it's going to be a good album. And he's one of the best bass players on the scene right now. And he's just so muscular. You know, he's such a monster player, but great trumpet playing, great drumming, just an all-round great band, just a fantastic band. And I like what Hiromi has gone for here. You know, apart from Hadrien Feraud, most of the guys in this band are pretty unknown, so I think that makes things a lot more interesting. So it's kind of cool to see that everyone contributes and brings their own voice to the table. But Hiromi, she's very much the boss, and she's just on absolute fire on her piano and on her keyboards. You know, she's an absolute lion. She really is. So there you have it, Hiromi. And if you ever get the opportunity to see Hiromi live, I highly recommend you do, because she is absolute pure dynamite live, and she always puts on a fantastic show. So you won't be disappointed. So there you have it, Hiromi's Sonic Wonder, Sonicwonderland. Excellent stuff, and one of the best albums of 2023. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite track from Hiromi's Sonicwonderland? Is it Wanted, the title track Sonicwonderland, Polaris, Go Go, Up, Reminiscence featuring Oli Rockenberger, Trial and Error, Utopia, or Bonus Stage? Or do you enjoy the entire album from start to finish? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated.